Yeah.
All right, well, let's go for it. I don't have any paperwork. Remember, I'm in my car, so you gotta help me out, Hillary.
Okay, well, I think first on the agenda would be Peter Abraham and his chicken permit, who we asked to come back and show us a plan of the wells in regard to where his coop location was and
Yeah.
a water test.
Have you seen that, Hillary?
No, I have not. And both Doug and I tried to call Peter a number of times, and his voicemail's not set up, so you can't leave a message.
So I
Okay.
think I feel strongly that you really need to see that.
Well, Peter, it looks like is Peter here with us?
I see his name there.
Yes, Peter's here.
Okay. Peter? He's not talking?
Here he is.
There he is. You gotta unmute yourself, Peter.
Okay.
He's not
okay.
muted, but there we go. He's not muted,
Are
but
we good? Okay, thanks. I'm sorry to
Yeah,
interrupt.
we're good.
Okay.
All right, well, you're on the agenda first, Peter. So where is the plan for the well? Hello?
Yes.
We can't hear him at all.
No.
Well, this looks like the selectmen meeting last night. Okay, well, until we get a good signal from Peter, what can we do in the meantime? Anything?
Rebecca, can you chat to him and let him know we can't hear him at all?
yeah, I think he can hear you, so he's moving, but he nope. Hold on, I'll do that.
Uh-oh. Well,
Awkward silence, huh?
Well, we can't hear him. I think we can't hear you at all, Peter.
Can you see him?
I can see him, but I can't understand.
Can he hold up a plan like this to the front of the phones and yell?
No, it looks like he just got off. Maybe he's going to try to call back in. So our next Board of Health meeting is June 10th, correct? And we
June 10th.
have
That's correct.
June 10th. We have one other chicken hearing on June 10th, right, Rebecca?
I don't know.
Okay.
Because we have
Do we have?
I thought it was today, Hillary.
we do.
Oh,
We have it today.
Oh,
It's,
okay, great.
Yep.
Picarello chickens is
Yes.
today.
Yes.
Picarillo
perfect.
chickens, right.
Okay,
Well,
good.
Lizzie just called me from work, so,
Okay, good. I'm glad.
okay.
Just wanted to make sure I didn't lose sight of the other chickens too.
No, and I had
Before they
posted it and then realized that she had emailed back and forth, so I added her. Just
Oh, good.
Um,
Okay, perfect. Great.
And Hillary, they're coming home to roost. Right.
I love it. Bring it on.
All right,
now,
so
if we decide on a public hearing, I can still. It has to be 2 consecutive weeks.
Okay,
So we'd have to move it back a little bit because Tuesday at 9:30 a.m. is the deadline to get it into the paper. So that would leave the 2nd and the 9th, but I don't think it goes into the paper until the Friday. So it's 2 Fridays, which gives it the 5th and the 12th.
Can we do the Cape Cod Times?
We can. It's more expensive for the Board of Health budget,
Uh-huh.
but it absolutely can be done.
I mean, I would say let's just get it advertised the 2 consecutive weeks.
You
know,
got it.
And
Okay, that works.
Do we want to move on to the Picarello chickens while we're waiting to see if we can hear Peter?
Can you hear me now? Can you hear
There he
me?
is, there he is.
Yes,
You can hear me.
we can.
Okay.
hear
yes,
you.
we can.
Great.
Hey, Peter, go for
Do
it.
I have the floor?
You do.
Okay. Okay, great. So let me give you an update. So basically, I overheard Hillary saying that she tried to contact me several times and was unsuccessful. I did see that somebody called me this morning, and I didn't answer the phone because I was unavailable. But we did have some communication problems. I called her last Tuesday and asked to be put through to her voicemail, and it turns out that I was put through to Doug's voicemail. And he called me back on Friday, which explains why Hillary didn't call me back last week. But Doug I went through the whole thing with Doug, and he kind of rest assured me that what I have should be good enough. So let me update you on what I've done and what I have. So basically, I went out and did a very accurate check of the distance between the two wells in question. So to review, we wanted to know the distance of the two possible coop locations on my property, and one location, the distance from the Galata well, and the other location, the distance from the Dempsey well.
Yes.
Okay. And the proposed spot that you have in the original site plan was on the Dempsey side.
Yes.
Okay. So and you also asked me to do a water test as well.
Yes.
Okay. So basically, on the issue of the water test, I have already I picked up a water test kit and I completed it and I brought it down to Barnstable County.
Great.
The test results, I suspect, are pending because it takes about 2 weeks to complete. But I have a receipt showing that I have already done this.
Great.
And logically speaking, my guess is that you just needed this for a baseline so that we can monitor this in the future. So I did it. I have it. And then,
Thank you.
And then it's a good thing. It's a good thing. We
Yeah.
want to make sure the water is clean. And then as far as the two considered locations, my proposal and then the other one we want to take into account. In fact, they are both equidistant, exactly 90 feet from the two wells. So my proposed side is exactly 90 feet from the Dempsey well, and the other side, the closest well, is the Galata well, which is in fact also exactly 90 feet. So when I take that into account, and also the fact that the Galatas don't seem very thrilled about my wanting to raise chickens, goes back to my original proposal to put it on the other side where I would kind of prefer it, and I feel that it would have the least impact on my neighbors.
Peter, do you have that drawn onto a plan that you can submit to us to take a look at?
Well, I don't have any more plans because I had to give you all 7 copies that Nancy from the assessor's office gave to me. I already gave them to you. And I talked to Doug, and he said because my proposal is actually not going to be impacted by the numbers, that I did not need to, that I would probably, he thought that it wouldn't be necessary to go out and get another copy of the site plan and draw down the difference of the 90 feet for both of them. He said because the original proposal won't change, that this information is, he didn't think that I needed to go through all that. But in any event, that's the update. That's the deal. That's everything that has happened.
So I think it sounds reasonable. I do want to see the site plan with you demarcating where the wells are, because I think that is important. I don't have a problem if the board wants to move ahead and approve these chickens with a condition that that site plan come in. I think if Peter went out and measured the 90 feet to each well, that's great, and it's right in the middle, and I think that's something we can work with.
Okay. Anybody else from the board have any questions?
Well, one of the things that we had talked about was possibly putting the chicken coop in the middle of the lot. so that we would be compliant on both sides. That was a possibility we had brought up last meeting.
I think if he does that, he's then moving closer to the Galata well, which is what we don't want him to do.
Oh, so it's 90 feet if it stays on the Dempsey side.
Exactly,
Right.
and it's 90
Okay.
feet from the Dempsey's well and the Galata's well.
Okay, all right.
It'll be
agree.
more than
Fine.
100 feet on the Dempsey side and only 90 feet from the Dempsey's. But on the Galata side,
Be 100.
it would be 90 feet. And if we moved it to the back of the property, you would be moving it towards the Galata.
Close to Galatos, and we don't want that. I
We don't
got it.
We don't want near the Galatas. They don't want they don't want me to have chickens.
Okay.
We
got
don't
it.
want to infringe on their serenity.
Yes,
And,
there's
you know,
serenity. That's right. That was the word I was looking for.
Yeah.
Right.
I
I
suspect
agree
you'll be
with you.
giving them
I
eggs.
agree with you, Hillary.
I think we should see if there's anyone in the audience, because I think that Mrs. Galata was going to try to be present, so I don't know if she's on here or not. Ken, if you want to ask for,
Yeah, so is there anybody in the audience that has any concerns about this? Rebecca, you don't have anybody on that's foreign?
We have a couple of phone numbers, but they're able to unmute themselves, and I don't have anyone raising their hand.
okay.
Okay. So can we approve is this going to be on the condition of the water test coming in, Hillary?
On the condition of
plan.
an acceptable
And the
water
plan.
test and a plan submitted, yes.
I so
Okay.
move. I move that we allow Mr. Abraham's chicken coop to be per plan, pending the results of the water test and the hard copy of plans to Hillary.
Okay, I got a motion. Could I have a second, please?
I'll second.
Oh, okay. Sorry
Okay,
again.
all in favor? Aye,
Aye. Aye.
okay.
Do you want a condition of no roosters? He's not proposing to have any.
Oh, yes, no rooster.
Yeah, I would add that in. No roosters allowed.
Okay.
That might really mess up the serenity.
It really would.
I have one in
Everybody.
and my neighbor has one. It's not just 5 a.m. that they decide to make
No,
their
no, no,
little
mine did
noise
it, the one in my neighborhood does it at cocktail time.
all the time.
5
Yes.
PM every night.
I think my mother would kill me if I got one.
So Peter, what we'll need from you is a check. If you intend to have the 6 hens right now, it's $6. If you intend to have the 12 hens, it's $12. So it's $1 a bird.
It's
Understood.
big bucks, big bucks.
That's not bad. That's not bad. Better
So-
than Purdue.
All right. Well, yeah. I mean, we'll start with the 6, and then
Okay.
it's 6 months from now, if we feel comfortable, and
Right.
that's sort of how we feel. We just kind of want to learn the process and not go too deep in. So 6 is a good starting point for us. We might like to move up to 12. But I guess I can. Since I'm already approved, I just have to bring in a check 6 months from now if I want to change it, an additional check.
You have to pay us now for your hens today. So pay us for how many hens you want today. And when you want more, you'll pay for the rest.
Okay, understood. And for the site plan pending, you just want me to show the distance between the Dempsey
Right.
well and the proposed location, right? You want me to
Yes.
keep update
Right.
that site plan. So you guys already have 7 copies of that site plan. Can I come back to the Board of Health and pick those up and then draw it in correctly? Or
Well,
do I have
I've
to go back to
actively-
Nancy and get 7 more copies, or what do I
I've-
need?
I've actively used 2. We've distributed some to members of the board. I have 2 copies here in this folder that I will put outside the door. You can pick it up and adjust it and leave it for me.
Very good. So
So it'll be outside the door waiting for you.
All right, that's great. So I'll pick it up today, and then when I return it, I'll put a check in there made out to the town of Wellfleet for $6.
$6, please.
Okay.
Thank you.
Is there anything else?
Thank you, Peter.
Thank
Thank you.
you, guys.
Thank you, Peter.
All right.
All right, Hillary, what's next?
Picarello chickens, more chickens.
Do we have anybody from Picarello here?
We have a Nick.
Marissa said she was going to be
Just
calling in.
outside the door.
Yep. Rebecca?
Yes,
Marissa said she'd be calling in from work. Is she not on?
I have two numbers, but I don't know who they are. And they're allowed to unmute themselves.
Let me call her and tell her to get in.
I don't really know where he went.
I love her.
I love her.
Just
too.
do.
I love her voice.
It's rather comical.
Is she
It
a
is.
princess today or is she a unicorn?
Actually, Wonder Woman.
Oh, well,
Oh,
there you go.
that's not
Even better.
Nice.
Yeah.
We're making strides here.
There you go. All right, so we still haven't got a response from a Picarillo?
Nick, can Nick
Yeah.
call her?
Nick is calling
Yeah, I'm
her.
calling her
He's
now.
calling her.
Okay,
Is she a 349 number?
because she
No.
said she wanted to be on this meeting.
Yep.
Yeah, I just called her. She was at work. She said she'd call in.
Okay, great.
I can't, I'm calling her now and I just got a message, so
Okay.
maybe you can try. Let me see. Her number would, let me see.
I've stopped, excuse me, I've stopped my video because I'm at 5%, so at least I'd like to hear the rest of this meeting if all possible.
All right, so we keep moving. Rebecca,
Yes,
yeah, she's the 508-523-4902.
she is here. Let me unmute her.
Very good.
Hi, Maria.
Marissa,
Hi, thank you. Sorry, I couldn't figure out how to unmute myself on the phone.
That's all right.
You're not alone.
Okay, well, please go ahead.
Yep.
Can you
Maria,
still hear me?
yeah?
Yes, we can.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Marissa, you there?
Ted, Marissa?
Yes.
All right, you can tell us your story.
Yes.
Tell us the story. Okay, well, I did submit an application for 12 laying hens, and I also submitted the approximate location of where we'd like to build our coop. I'm at work. Unfortunately, I don't have the paperwork with me, but I did submit that information.
All right, Hillary, do you have the plans? Are they in accordance with our regulations?
I can't hear Hillary.
Hillary?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm just pulling up the plan, and looking at it. And so they've got some wetland. I can't print these plans out well because of the way it's inserted. So hold on one second and let me see if I can pull it up larger and share the screen. All right.
I get nothing.
Well, I'm just trying to find it and see if we can share it because, Marissa, can you tell us how close it is to the wetland and the wells?
It's approximately 56 feet to our well, and it's well over 100 feet to the neighbor's wells. I didn't measure to the wetland. There is a creek in our backyard, and there's also there's kind of a slope that's considered vegetative wetland, but I believe it's around 50 feet as well to the slope.
And
Okay.
is the coop going, how are you going to construct it?
Well, it'll have a timber frame. We're going to put plywood on the bottom of the coop itself. And we also have 1/4-inch hardwire mesh cloth that we're going to put around for an outdoor area.
Rebecca, can you enable me to share the screen or can folks see
Oh, we
it?
have it.
I can see, I can
We
see
have
the
it.
plan.
Oh, you can see
Yeah,
it.
I just
Okay.
put the map on the screen for you.
Yeah, I
Okay,
can see.
perfect. Okay, so there's
you.
the coop.
Thanks, Rebecca.
I guess my one concern is that the coop would need to be permitted by the Conservation Commission because
That's what
of
I
its
was going to ask.
proximity to the wetland. So this is a good starting point for approval. I think we will want to hear more about the manure management plan because of its location. So what technique will you be using for manure management?
For the inside, we're going to have a hard bottom where it's going to be plywood, so it's easy to clean out.
Okay.
And then for the outdoor coop, we're going to have a compost system right in the netted area so that it's contained and animals won't get in. And my husband and I have both lived with chickens before, so we're pretty familiar about adding leaf litter and adding organic material to the compost and turning it and creating loam for our gardens.
Is this the same technique that we heard about last week? You're gonna just build it up inside the pen?
I'm not sure what you heard about last week, but yes, essentially we build it up inside the pen and we manually flip it over so that it breaks down.
Yeah, they don't even have to do that in theirs. I read about that online after Mike DeVasto's.
Yeah.
It's a fantastic process if it were, it sounds great.
Marissa, do we have a recent water test?
I believe there's a test from about 4 or 5 years ago when the house was purchased.
Okay, so
I don't know if that can count as recent enough for you.
we would like one valid within the year. So if we could ask you to go ahead and secure a water test, we can put the water bottles outside the door for you to pick up here.
Okay.
The courier service is not working at the moment between here and Barnstable County, so you could drive them to the lab or the hardware store in Eastham. I never know if it's a True Value or an Ace is
It's an
offering
ace.
a similar service. If you reach out to them, you can find out the day that they get them taken from there.
Okay.
All right.
So I
Okay,
think,
so-
I mean, I don't see too many problems with this. We do want the Conservation Commission to approve it as well.
Right.
So, we can give it a contingent approval upon approval from the Conservation Commission and,
I would go with that.
Yeah, Hillary, I think it's with a little bit outside the 50-foot buffer from the vegetated wetland there.
yeah, they're still gonna want to approve it.
Oh,
And
no, I understand that. Yeah, I understand that. I
Yeah.
agree.
Okay. All right, so then can somebody make a motion with the contingency for the conscom? Well, no, Conservation Commission, yeah.
I have to recuse myself.
Yeah,
I'll make a motion that
Yeah.
we approve the location of the proposed chicken coop contingent on Conservation Commission approval and a recent water test.
Okay, I have a motion. Can I have a second?
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
great.
Good luck with your chickens, Marissa.
Yes. good
Okay,
luck.
thank you very much.
So
All right.
next,
Housing?
Right.
okay. So I did comment to you before the meeting, which the plans that you have, well, the ideas that you have drawn up, Hillary, I do like them. I think it's needed, has been needed for a long time. The only thing I'm wondering about is, can it be implemented this year? Or can we start the license processing for the license to start up for next year?
So I guess I would say I have concerns about getting it enacted this year. I think it would be really difficult to
Yeah.
actually expect people to comply and fill out the paperwork and understand even what we're doing. Not to mention, we still have to hold the public hearing, right? So we have to
Right.
advertise for 2 weeks. So we're looking at June 10th or 11th or, someday
I-
during that week or the next week
Yeah.
to do something. We've never, as this Board of Health, enacted a regulation and had it effective like the day after. Because
Right.
I don't think it gives folks enough time to prepare. We can ask that people start registering as they become aware of it, but I think we would have to pick a date somewhere, somewhere outside of the following day to do something realistically.
Yeah, especially since you want to get a water test involved with this as well.
Yes.
And an
Bill
inspection.
Hillary, if
Yep.
I could speak, Ken.
Yes. Yeah, go ahead, Janet.
I
Sorry.
think, you know how much I've wanted this for a while. But I think we have to look at the objective of why we're doing it right now. And there's a public health objective, and it's a question of getting a number or an idea of a number of what we're talking about as opposed to meeting regulations. I think phasing it in is the wisest thing to do. If we're looking for some kind of a total number of how many short-term rentals there are in Wellfleet for public health purposes, for the purpose of how many people possibly could be coming into town and making subsequent decisions from the public health perspective, the phase one to me is just the registration, name, address, occupancy, potential, and then we phase in the monitoring and the checking of the short-term rental following this summer. That was the thought I had, that we meet the objective of at least asking people to register, to say, I have a short-term rental, I have an occupancy of 6 people, I live on 27 Drohan Avenue, okay? And bingo. So that was just my thought.
So I think that's reasonable, but
Reasonable.
what we can't do is tie it to the beach sticker at this point, because we don't have software set up for that, and I'm not sure how we would make that work.
She's got it already.
No, I know Suzanne has it, but what I'm saying is she's issuing beach stickers now. I don't know how we would.
Well, when somebody gets a beach sticker and they're not a property owner, they have to fill out the name of the person, the name of the place, the name of who owns that place.
Yes.
They have to fill out the address. So that is checked at whenever anybody buys a sticker. In other words, you can't get a sticker. My kids can't get a sticker for a week until I fill out a form and I sign it. So
No, right. No, I get that. But what I'm saying is so we're going to have these rental registrations trickle in, is what I'm assuming. Like, I don't know that folks are going to
well, if their renter can't get a beach sticker until they
They'll do it.
register, then they're not
They'll
going
do
to.
it. Yeah, they'll do it.
I mean, if you're going to rent a house for 2 weeks and you're the person who's owning that house, is getting you want to be able to go to the beach and get a beach sticker. So the motivation to have them not trickle in is right here, as far as I'm concerned. Just a thought. Just my thoughts.
Okay.
Hillary, can I ask a question? Hillary?
of course. go
Yes,
ahead.
go ahead. Excuse me, everybody. I'm gonna probably have to leave you for a moment, so I will return as soon as I can, okay?
Okay.
Hillary, one thing I was thinking about, since we do have a lot of older homes, what about lead issues in homes and the disclosure? I think from what I heard today from some real estate people, there are a lot of longer term rentals because of COVID and people wanting to stay put. And I think the regulation is if there's a rental longer than 100 days, lead becomes, you have to disclose any lead issues in the house to the renters. So I think that may have to be added. I think that may have to be added to the application form when you ask for rent location and unit. Well, what about the age of the home? If it's older than 78, which some of them might be, lead
We
may be a
could
real
just
issue.
put a
as far as
checkbox. Yeah, we
Yeah.
could just put a checkbox on the form about lead paint. Maybe like wastewater, does the house have lead paint? So then they tell us whether it has lead paint or not, and they're signing that under the perjury and penalties of
Yeah.
law.
Yeah.
So I'll add lead paint.
Right. And they would have to disclose that to whoever they're renting to. There's I think
Yeah.
there's a form. Yeah, right, okay.
Yeah.
Right. And the other thing, I don't know, technically, maybe Gary would, does anyone ever still use lead soldering and more in pipes? I mean, as far as
No,
water.
that's gone
That's
the
all
way of
history.
silent
Okay.
movies.
Okay, that's what I was hoping. I figured that was that, but I just wanted to make sure, so to speak. That lead,
And all the old time plumbers do not like it.
yeah. But I thought maybe some of these older homes, there might still be some soldering or something in there that, would require, testing, but I don't know. Maybe if we do inspect any of these places, the older houses, we can look, I guess.
Do we want to go with the 3-year model and make the
I
septic
like that model.
inspection?
Yeah.
The septic inspection needs to come in within the first 3 years of the permit or within the first year of the rental?
More effective the first year, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
I would think the first year.
That's more effective.
Well, I'm back. So I agree the first year will be better. If you could start the process with them trickling in this year, maybe somebody could get some of the inspection done now instead of everybody trying to get it done for the next year.
I agree.
Okay, so septic inspection within first year of permit. And what did we say on the water test? We want the water test within the first year as well. Okay,
I would think
Yeah, the
so.
water test is easy enough.
okay, yeah.
Go with the septic inspection. Do it the same.
Right.
Do we want to hear if there's any comments from the public? Or Dan is on the line, Dan Hort, the town administrator, if he has any comments?
Yeah, that'd be good. Is there anybody on who would like to comment upon our regulation or our future regulation? No? Okay, well, we'll move forward with this. We'll schedule a public hearing. And,
I just want to go back to Janet's comment for a minute because I want to make sure that we can do what it is she wants us to do. So we want to withhold beach stickers until folks register their rental, correct?
yeah,
To fill out the application form, I guess, right?
yes. Well, I've always thought one of my pet peeves about this has always been there should be the cross registration. If you do not have the proper licenses for your rental, you cannot give your rental the form to get a beach permit.
Okay, so I'm gonna talk with Suzanne again about that and let her know that that is the wish of the board.
She just checks it anyway. They check it anyway, Hillary. Every
Yeah, no,
time.
that's fine.
Yeah,
I mean, we're gonna have to give her literally an Excel spreadsheet of addresses that are registered, and then they'll have to cross-reference that while they're issuing beach stickers. So I just want to make sure that that
Right,
will be
right.
acceptable to her to do what she does to issue.
right.
Well, right now with everything being done online, I don't know if it's going to be going forward with everything online. It should be easy enough to do, especially if they get it done online. There's not going to be a mad rush every time somebody shows up for a week. They can all be done beforehand.
Okay, now what about the permit fee? I had proposed $300 for 3 years.
Yeah, I think that was reasonable. I
Yeah,
did.
That's fine.
I think that's very reasonable.
So folks
too.
will pay the 300,
Yeah.
they'll submit their form, they'll pay the $300 right up front.
Right.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, you don't think it's too steep during COVID times or it's
Well, Hillary, that's why I suggested you start the process now and have the license become enforceable next year. You know what I mean?
Well,
So
I
if
don't-
people can start, if they know it's coming down the pipe, that it's going to be starting enforceable for next year, I think that'd be better, better option.
I guess I just don't want to
No,
create
that's-
an accounting nightmare for me. Like if people are then going to pay $300 in their second year, like I think it's a
No.
cleaner process. If we're all on board with $300, then they pay the $300 up front and
I
Yes.
think that's a reasonable, $300 is a reasonable cost, I think,
Okay.
my opinion.
Hillary, Ken, I wanted to say,
Yes, go ahead, Janet.
I think what are the other towns like Eastham who ties the rental registration to their beach sticker process. I think they charge $100 a year. So I just would like to go into the minutes saying that I feel strongly that we, as a public health, as a Board of Health Department, need to do everything we can to get a handle on any data we can use to make wise decisions, not just to protect Wellfleet, but to protect the people that we're inviting here with their families, to do it as safely as we can. And subsequent decisions made in phase 2 and phase 3 are important. And the more information we have as far as data goes, the better decisions we can make. And this is a big unknown. It's a very big unknown in this town, is that what our capacity could be, might be, will be. We have no idea, but having the data of what it could be is important. But I think it's very important that the message be sent out that to everybody in the public, that at least from my point of view, we're doing this to protect everyone and make the best decisions we can in this unknown time.
All right. Well, excuse me, everybody. I got to go. They finally called me in this time, so I will talk to everybody later.
Good luck, Ken.
Okay.
Ken.
Okay.
Have you guys been seeing Jude Ahern's comments popping up?
I have. Yeah, I have. Yeah.
I have. And I don't know what that is about the fire department. I didn't get that.
Hi, everyone. So I don't rent, but my neighbor does. And he asked me if I knew anything about this because I think one of the requirements, is fire safety.
Yes.
And so we called the fire department asking when he could schedule this, understanding it's COVID. And they were really clear that there was no way they were going to get to any of this. So I think if you're asking people for money, you need to make sure that the appropriate officials will be able to do these inspections. And that's tricky. That's
So
all.
I think if I can weigh in, hold on one second, Parker. There is a self-certification form where the homeowner self-certifies, and then we would commit to an inspection within the first 3 years. So they self-certify so they can start their rental process, and then we do an inspection sometime within the 3 years or following on a complaint.
Okay, but that includes the fire department and they are okay with that too? They have a plan?
The fire department wouldn't do the inspection, the health department would, and we look for smoke and carbon monoxide, the same things that they would look for, we look for.
Okay, so it's your department that has to do these inspections only?
Right. Right.
Yes, I'll be right back. We're having a crisis. Hold on one moment. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
Okay, but it sounds like you guys know, and so that was my question, who's doing these inspections? And if there's a backlog, you need to figure out the staffing, I suppose, so. That's
Right.
all.
Thank you.
It's a valid point.
Yes, we appreciate that.
And one more thing about the data. Yeah, someone needs to really get on top of all of our data and who owns it, who has access to it. I mean, I know my water company says it owns it. So even as we own the company, we don't own the data. The beach stickers I see go through a third-party billing. I asked Suzanne, do we have access to that data? It's really important to be smart and strategic about that and safe as we go forward here. So, and I wouldn't necessarily rely on the Cape Cod Commissions group because they do it for every town. I think it's really important to have a second opinion about security and who has access. It's data is really important.
you a freaking hippie like back in this. Oh, good for you. Is your wife-
Something's funny. I love to hear kids
That's
laugh.
Billy in the background.
I love to hear kids laugh.
I love Billy. Tell him I said hi.
Will do. He's in the other room. Maybe he'll make an appearance.
That would be nice. How are you doing, Gary?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Good, good, good.
Back to work now
You are, okay.
in Provincetown.
Uh-huh.
Don't you love technology?
Mm-hmm.
Hi, everyone. I had texted Victoria when we were trying to get her, and I just saw she texted back wondering why you were trying to reach her. So by mistake said the select board. I meant you guys, so I'll make it clear, but I'll tell her again.
I didn't get, I don't understand that. What was that?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there.
Either, yeah.
Weren't you trying to reach her earlier to call in about her chickens?
Marissa. That was
Marissa.
Oh, not Vic- oh, okay. Sorry. No wonder she's confused. Okay, good. And she got in. Right. All right. Got it. All right. Sorry.
That's okay. What did I miss, folks?
Nothing.
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 Gary's
Okay.
back to work and Billy's in the other room.
Okay, so we're gonna move forward with the public hearing. I'm gonna
Yes.
alter our documents a little bit to add septic inspection, well water testing, lead paint. I'm waiting for the governor to issue sector-specific guidance on cleaning short-term rentals and
Right, right.
those types of things, because I think it will be important for us to get that out with the rental registration paperwork.
So what parameters are we gonna put with this? In other words, when is it due?
Well, it's gonna be due immediately. I mean,
Okay, good.
it's gonna be effective immediately. And I guess I'm just trying to think, when we did any tobacco, when we did flavored tobacco, did we do that effective immediate? No, that was effective like a month later. So that was the soonest turnaround we've ever done on a regulation, but I understand what the board wants, and you know, we can make it happen.
All right.
And I guess we're gonna advertise it, but I think if folks are out talking, we should spread
Yes,
the word.
Right.
Ken asked if he could send it to the Chamber of Commerce, and I said, yes, please do, because the more comments we get in, the better.
Absolutely.
We don't want to surprise people. I know I mentioned it on the emergency call. I don't know how many people listen to that or watch it back. Maybe the selectmen can mention it at their meeting as well if they have another one coming up soon.
Okay.
But let's try and spread the word as best we can.
Okay, great.
Okay.
So Courtney, what would the schedule for that public meeting be?
I know it has to be posted 2 weeks consecutively. Yep, I'll have Hillary send me the wording so that we can put it in
Okay.
the newspaper.
Okay,
And then I'll send it to you guys so that you know what it's worded. But it will go in the Cape Cod Times just because they are every day, where the other one is only once a week.
yes,
Yep.
okay, good.
any other comments?
Will we still be meeting on the 10th of June then, Hillary?
I think we have, hold on one second. The
Okay.
10th of June, I don't know if we know yet because
Okay.
we would get materials in on June 3rd for the June 10th meeting.
So it's open right now, okay.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
I mean,
okay,
we
let's-
can still tweak the regulate, you know, we can still tweak
Right.
things.
Okay,
Rebecca, can you make sure the town clerk has a copy of the regulation, the proposed regulation as well, in case folks go there looking for it? And maybe we could ask Courtney to put it front and center on the town webpage, proposed Board of Health rental registration.
Great. Yeah, it's a good idea.
just
Right.
So people see it. Do we know who Agnes is? Agnes or Alan? Are either of you in the reporting world? No, no
No.
one, Agnes. Alan?
Alan?
Okay, Alan's not either. Okay. Do they have any comments as they've been listening, or they're?
Are there any comments from anybody in the audience? Agnes, you're muted, Agnes. If you wanted to say anything. Okay.
Not at this time.
Okay, thank you, Agnes.
And I see Jude's comments on the number of rentals. My guess is we have more than 739 rentals.
Yes.
And that's 4 to 5 a week. Yes. We'll have to see how we tackle that. It might be a staffing need, but you know, we'll do what we can.
We will, yeah. And we'll fight for you, Hillary. We'll get you the staff. Don't you worry. We'll fight
It
for
is
you.
what it is, you know?
I know.
Okay.
Okay. He's gonna get, Alan said he's gonna get word to, we need a vacation, whoever that is. So that must be
Okay.
a site online, so. Okay, is there anything else that anybody has to say? Any other comments to be brought up?
Any other business, Hillary?
I don't have any other business at the moment. Does Jude have anything else? She has an idea. Oh, never mind.
Hillary, any prospect for the signs? Have you heard from the county?
Yeah, yes. The county was going to move ahead with printing them. Susanna's moving ahead with printing
Okay.
them. So we will have 2 sets, and Staples had about a week turnaround. So that's
Okay.
in the
Excellent.
work.
We got time.
These are
Very good.
signs for the beach, Nick?
Yes,
Beach signs?
Beach
yes.
signs. We have another sign for recreational spaces that aren't beaches that is being developed also. So it's all in the works.
Hillary,
Yes.
to that point about people leaving their shoes at the top of the hill, is that addressed in the signs?
That is absolutely not addressed in the sign because the sign was made by the county, and that, it seems, is a Wellfleet thing. So,
Well, it's a Truro thing too, but it's not good for people needing to get them and hovering around together. I think we
Yes.
should discourage that behavior.
so she's talking
You can
about
try.
leaving their shoes at the top of the dune.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
And
I
You
mean-
can try. I don't think you're going to be very successful.
Well,
Yeah.
it's dumb anyway with the glass and the heat, and I don't know where that came from. I've seen it more in the last few years. You know, I just think
Forever.
it's like they own the beach, they're taking off their shoe. It's just, you
It's
know.
just a beach thing. It's a cultural thing, I think.
It
Yeah,
is.
but if you watch what happens, is
No, I understand.
everybody then looks for their shoes, and
Oh,
it's
you're
all
right. Yeah,
No,
you're
I
right.
agree. No, I agree. This isn't the time to be doing it. But
But
that's why.
You know, there's so many issues of where we're trying to get compliance and have people, you know, do the thing that's the smart and right thing to do. I don't know if a sign about shoes, you know, I don't know. I mean, there's
Well, I
so
don't know what
big
the sign,
issues, you know.
I understand, but I don't know what the sign says, but if people are encouraged to like quickly get down to where they're trying to go and keep their mask on, great.
Right.
You know, I'm not sure how that's communicated, but.
Good point, Jude. Good point. Thank you.
We'll work on it with everything else.
And I don't know how their feet don't get burned.
I know you do that once and you never do it
I
again.
know. Oh. Okay.
Is that it?
Could be.
I think so. That's all for today.
Okay.
Okay,
Very
Hillary,
good.
thank you so much
Thank
for
you very
everything.
much. Thank you, Hillary.
Next meeting, June 10th.
And Courtney, thank you so much. Thank you.
Next meeting, June 10th.
What
And
time?
I will revise what we have at some point to add those new things, and I'll get that out to you.
And then
if
will you send me the write-ups for the newspaper and I'll get it in ASAP?
the write-up for the newspaper, that's interesting.
I can do one that I've done for like the planning board, just put in our information and send it to you and you can fix it if you want. That
Yeah,
way.
that's perfect. Because I
Okay.
think it should just
Sounds
say
good.
proposed rental registration regulations. And then what we do after we advertise it and pass it, then we have to post the summary,
Okay.
which I usually just post the whole thing just so it's clear. It costs a lot of money, but
Okay.
but
Well, it's easier that way.
Yeah,
There's no confusion.
Yep.
it's easier.
Mhm.
Yes, so I think we'll just call it an application for a registration to rent program. And yes, I can work on that with you. So send me what you got and I'll add some things and
Perfect.
see what it looks like.
Rebecca, will
June
meeting be
June
1
10th,
o'clock?
1 o'clock?
1 o'clock? On the
1
10th?
o'clock is good.
That
Yeah,
works for
I would-
me.
That
Okay,
works for me too.
all right,
Okay, I got it written down.
Okay.
very good.
All right, thanks,
All right.
guys.
Bye, guys.
Thank
See you in a
you.
month.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
everybody.
Bye.